AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood. Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musa. And Mr. Toby Topley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU got a big one in the portal.
Hump day.
We'll talk about him.
It's hump day.
NC State whining like a bunch of little babies.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
To quote the great Fred Smoot,
Hump day.
you out here doing all the crying, what the baby's gonna do?
It's hump day.
I want to find that one.
Mike.
was a
What
good
day
one.
is it, Mike?
That was a good one. You remember that one?
Hump day.
Remember that one?
I don't remember it,
Oh,
no.
man.
It's hump day.
That was probably Fred Smoot.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
When he was guest picker.
Hump day.
2018?
It's hump day.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Were you here then, Muse?
Hump day.
I was here, but I was on off the bench.
It's hump day.
See if you can find that.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Fred Smoot.
Hump day.
Got to be in there.
It's hump day.
Somewhere in there.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Okay?
Hump day.
Yeah, no, I'll look. I'm guessing Haldane's folder.
Conversation. Word.
It's hump day.
Noah Fleischman in 15 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
He talks about NC State.
Hump day.
Mike Giorlando next hour.
It's hump day.
He's the athletic director at LSU New Orleans.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Got to try that one on.
Hump day.
So does that mean they're LSUNO?
They're going by LSU New Orleans.
Okay.
But I guess
It's hump
LSUNO, but going by LSU New Orleans.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
If you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Hump day.
I mean, you wouldn't be LSU UNO. So I mean,
Hey, UL Lafayette.
It's hump day.
They can't go by LSU.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You got to clarify the New Orleans.
Hump day.
What's your name?
It's hump day.
Call a thing by its name.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, Cat Taylor, Mike Brown.
no, I have it. Where'd it go?
I, for one, am shocked.
They got an iconic player, you know.
I isolated it right before I came in here.
Say the damn Todd Buse!
I did. That's what I'm saying.
You're isolating it.
And I saved it. It says Mike Brown dash saw a ghost.
Mike Brown. Blah, blah, blah.
They got an iconic player, you know.
Poor Mike Brown.
We made it. No, not poor Mike Brown. We made it through the whole entire Humpty Bump. That's so good. All right, let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Okay, we might be a smidge late to Noah Fleischman because I have to make sure I take my time here on this one. 36 hours ago, Bino Watters was going to Texas. I sat here in this chair a day ago, and I was super bummed. Bino Watters was going to Texas. Everyone that covers the sport knew it. Some people said it. I said it. And LSU had just missed out on Brody Trosclair, who got a bigger offer to go to Tennessee. And I was bummed, man. I was really bummed yesterday at the start of the show, and we talked about it. Well, enter Jay Johnson, who passed the hat, did what Jay Johnson does, and got Bino Watters into this LSU portal class. Y'all, massive. If you look at On3, Baseball America, they rank Bino Watters as the number one player in the portal. Not the number one outfielder, not the number one guy from the ACC, the number one player in the portal. Huge. He is 6'2", 215. He hit 362 this past year with 10 bombs, 447 on-base percentage, and he never strikes out. And this isn't a guy who did it at a lower level that you're hoping translate to the next level. He's been a 300 hitter each of his 2 seasons at Notre Dame, which in baseball plays in the ACC, which I know they struggled in the postseason, but the ACC is a pretty salty baseball league. He's a dude. Also, you're losing 3 outfielders. Stanfield's out of eligibility. Curiel and Brown are very likely going to be taken high in the MLB draft and are going to sign, and they should. You know William Patrick is coming back, but this guy is a plug-and-play corner outfielder who hits from the left side with power. So when you look ahead to next year, you look at the top of this lineup, Aaron Beatty and Cerna from the right side, Braun, Watters from the left side. Those 4 are very likely going to mix in somehow, some way in the top 4 in your lineup. Unless if someone else emerges and maybe that this is your 2 through 5. But either way, William Patrick is back. Jack Ruckert, he can now bump down in the lineup. You're adding Dawson Park as well at shortstop, who was the top infielder that LSU targeted in the portal. It is really, really, really significant, man, to see this. And I think what this illustrates is a huge contrast from a year ago. Listen, you can say whatever you want about, well, they were playing in Omaha, and so it put them behind the 8 ball and blah, 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 blah. Like, I just don't buy that. So much of this comes down to evaluation and spending money on the right players. And last year, you didn't. Listen, there are players that LSU has wanted out of the portal and not gotten. LSU wanted Gavin Keelan. He went to Tennessee. LSU wanted Braden Montgomery when he was coming out of Stanford. He went to Texas A&M. LSU wanted Ace Reese. He went to Mississippi State. LSU wanted Maui Ahuna. He went to Tennessee. LSU wanted Zach Root. He went to Arkansas. This year, LSU wanted Volchko. He went to Georgia. It's not like LSU has never gone after top-tier talent in the portal. What they have done, in my opinion, is spread their resources thin over a lot of different guys instead of concentrating on the top guys. This is an instance where it is very clear Jay Johnson is consolidating his resources on top guys. Bino Watters is the number 1 player in the portal. Dawson Park is the number 1 infielder that LSU wanted. They identified him as the guy they wanted. On3 has Dawson Park as the number 15 prospect in the portal, but he was the guy they wanted on the infield. Last year, they signed 4. Caraway, Dardar, Simpson, York. Like, they went and signed 4 infielders last year. This year, they got 1. Now, they may not be done, But they are very clearly identifying top-tier guys that are plug-and-play, that are low-risk guys, that are already proven at this level. That is a shift from what they had been doing, and I like it. I mean, when you just look at skins on the wall, this is the most significant portal addition since Tommy White. I'm not saying he's Tommy White, not saying he's getting 27 bombs at NC State. What I'm saying is, just based on what he has already done at the highest level in baseball, this is the most significant position player transfer they have added since Tommy White. I don't even think that's debatable. So, hat tip to Jay Johnson for getting this done. I'm telling you, like, look at the interwebs. People who cover this sport knew Bino Watters was a heavy Texas lean. That's where this was trending. And so how does Jay Johnson get it done? Well, Brody Trosclair, I was told the number. I'm not comfortable sharing it right now, but I was told the number for Brody Trosclair that he got at Tennessee, and it was double the amount LSU offered here. And you know what? If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm okay with LSU not giving Brody Trosclair that number, because that is a left-handed pitcher who will be coming off an injury, who's not going to pitch until March, who only started 4 games and threw 38 innings. Now, I think he's got a huge ceiling, but the number Tennessee gave him is ridiculous, quite honestly. I'm glad LSU didn't do ridiculous for a freshman that might be a rotation guy, might be a bullpen guy. Very good. Again, someone you want. I'm not saying you don't. Yes, you want Brody Trosclair. But, like, I may want a new pair of jeans or a new pair of sneakers or a new shirt. It's got to make sense. Like, you're not going to go spend a ridiculous amount on somebody. That's just, the value has to be there. And it wasn't. Bino Watters, day one, plug and play, corner outfielder, hitting somewhere in the top 4 of your lineup. Double-digit homer guy. He's going to hit 350 and get on base at a 450 clip. Doesn't strike out? Yes. Yup. Jay Johnson passed the hat. Probably took some of the money that they had earmarked for Trosclair, so let's go get the best guy in the portal. But now that you get him, now you don't have to face him, because he's not going to be in the SEC at Texas next year. Massive. Now you've got 3 studs via the portal. I don't think they're done. The biggest question remains, man, can you get Steven Milam back? I'm not completely ruling it out. And can you imagine what this lineup would look like if you're looking at Dawson Park at third, Milam at short, Ruckert at second, Braun at first, Patrick in center, Watters in left, maybe another transfer from down the road at Tulane they're looking at, and right, potentially. Aaron Beatty and Cerna platooning at DH catcher. I like that a lot. I mean, you're cooking with grease, man. I like that a lot. Massive get. Massive get for Jay Johnson. Dramatically different vibes today. I was bumming yesterday. Y'all were here at the start of the show yesterday? I was bumming yesterday, man. After you got outbid for Trosclair and it looked like Watters was headed for Texas. Dramatically different day today, man. Hat tip to Jay Johnson. Went and got the biggest fish in the portal pond in Bino Watters. All right, it's after further review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Whether you're at the box, the PMAC, Tiger Park, Tiger Stadium, or you're watching at your house, make sure you drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Got to hang out with some of my friends, Chris Davis, some of my great friends, Mary Lewis over at Mockler actually yesterday after the show. Enjoyed a few cold pops and had some camaraderie and friendship. Talked a little bit about business and life and all that sort of stuff. They're great people. So I tell you all the time about Mockler. The Mocklers have been great supporters of our communities and our teams for 4 decades. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. All right, quick break. We're heading to Raleigh next. Noah Fleischman covers the NC State Wolfpack. What in the world are they doing now? They cannot quit. I wish I knew how to quit you. They cannot quit Will Wade. We'll talk about it next. AFR.
AFR.
Hey, remember River City's 1 hour air. They're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Not too late to get that preseason AC tune-up. Don't you dare go into the summer, which is here, by the way. Don't you dare go another day into the summer without getting your AC tune-up. Remember, you wouldn't go drive across the country without getting your oil change, your tire rotated, making sure your vehicle's in tip-top shape for that long journey. do not go through the summer in Louisiana without making sure your AC is ready for the onslaught that is coming over the next 90 days. Call River City's 1 Hour Air. Mention the Moscona special. They'll knock $30 off the price. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Get your AC tuned, clean, ready to roll for the warm weather months. 752-0001, 752-0001.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We'll go around the SEC in about a dozen minutes from right now. Taylor Calandro at the end of this hour. Little Bourbon Dictionary. Get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, or text us. The Will Wade NC State saga is a new chapter. As apparently NC State is investigating Wade's departure from Raleigh to Baton Rouge. Noah Fleischman covers NC State for the Wolfpacker, part of the On3 Network. Good enough to hang out with us here for a couple minutes. Hey, Noah, I thought we probably weren't ever going to have to bother you again, but here we are, man. How are you?
Doing well. This is the gift that keeps on giving.
Will Wade is certainly that, and LSU is never boring, as we're fond of saying. Okay, can you kind of give us the Cliff's Notes of what's going on right now?
Yeah, we can go back to, obviously when Will left, after 1 year, obviously upset NC State. NC State's AD had a press conference, the next day, kind of laying it all out there from his side of things, and wasn't happy. I think, we talked after that, press conference, and it kind of laid it out there, just, saying Will left, and basically told him he wasn't leaving up until, 2 days before, and, yeah. Well, now, NC State, when they agreed, when he left, they had negotiated a buyout with LSU. It was supposed to be $5 million, and LSU could have waited, if Wade had waited, 2 more weeks to April 1st, it would have gone down to $3 million. So instead of holding NC State hostage, they kind of all agreed to make it a $4 million number and get out of it. Well, it turns out that NC State hasn't really signed the agreement yet with LSU, and they're investigating whether or not LSU kind of, was deceptive is the way that they're kind of trying to phrase it in getting Will to come to LSU, and whether or not, the discussions happened well before he, told NC State about it and things like that. So NC State is unhappy, looking in this probably, the end of this, I think they're just looking to get more money, from LSU from what happened here.
No, what would constitute, as best your knowledge, I'm a senior attorney, I'm just curious what they're alleging here. What would deceptive mean if Will Wade was deceptive in the way that he exited?
Yeah, in his contract at NC State, it flat out says, it's pretty boilerplate in most contracts in college athletics, that if another school approaches you about a job, you've got to let your current employer know. It's pretty, simple. Most colleges have that. I think NC State's point of view is trying to say that he found out ahead of time. Not sure if that is true or not, but that's kind of what they're looking into. Is they saw all the wheels move really quickly, right? Once LSU got involved, it all happened in a 40-hour span, even though the rumor had been there for months. And so the question that I think NC State is looking into is how real was that rumor, for the 2 months beforehand? Because you and I both know that was a thing going around for a while, and it didn't just come out of nowhere. So I think that's kind of where NC State's looking at. And it's not going to change the fact that Will Wade left NC State. He's at LSU. It's not going to change the fact that NC State has already hired a new coach. But I think it's just going to come down to how much money can they get out of LSU at this point.
No, do you know if there's for lack of a better word, a paper trail?
I think that's what they're looking into, right? You can't investigate something that there's no documentation for it. So, if they can prove that LSU had reached out to Will, say, earlier than what he had told them, then that would, breach the contract, and, they could go into it. LSU is trying to get NC State to sign a release of liability to make the, buyout go through. And NC State flat out told them they're not agreeing to it. And they're looking into whether or not there was more going on behind the scenes. As they said, it's detrimental to the program. When you lose a coach, no matter how many years he's there, it hurts, especially after 1 year. So, they're not trying to get him back. It's more of just, trying to see what they can get the most from LSU, I think.
Man, if Will Wade has on a voicemail or has text messages like, come on, dog, we ain't learned nothing in 7 years. What do we do? If there's that, that better not be a paper trail somewhere out there, man. Go ahead.
If NC State is willing to basically lay it out there to the general counsel of LSU and say, hey, we're looking into this, they obviously think something is there, right? You wouldn't say that if you didn't think that something else was there.
Man, Noah Fleischman's with us. A couple more minutes. The Wolfpacker, it's part of On3. He's at Fleischman _Noah if you want to give him a follow. So what you kind of mentioned money there, but what is NC State trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, I think they might be trying to get their full buyout, and then plus if they can prove that it happened earlier and all of that happened, they could, in theory, sue for damages in the state of North Carolina for more money because of losing your coach and that, and the other. I mean, this is a thing that's going to come down to just dollars and cents. $4 million is what the two sides agreed on. It looks like NC State's trying to get more. As they said, the timing of the whole thing is really what would bother them the most. So we'll see. But I mean, $4 million is a lot of money.
Have things calmed down at all up there?
They have. I mean, this stirred it up. I mean, people had moved on from Will Wade. They do like watching the LSU roster build go through. There's plenty of things going on there, kind of just with how he's going about, recruiting internationally and things like that. But otherwise, fan base is happy. And the thing is that they're most disappointed is that the ACC-SEC Challenge did not include NC State and LSU.
Hey, man, LSU football has to go to Oxford, Mississippi in September. I mean, I wouldn't have been stunned if LSU basketball would have had to go to Raleigh. I mean, that would have just kind of been par for the course right now. And if you're looking for great theater and great television, that absolutely would have delivered. Is there anything else, Noah, that could come of this? Is maybe a way to say it, like aside from just financial damages? I mean, is this just sort of I hate to say it this way, but is maybe NC State just looking to kind of embarrass Will a little bit?
Could be. I mean, I think they were obviously disrespected in the way that it all went down, and it's not going to result in anyone losing their job or him coming back here or anything like they understand that. I think it's more of a trying to prove. If they can prove it, then it's a bad look for LSU, right? If they can't prove it, then it's probably a bad look for NC State that they blew this up and then nothing came of it. So, I mean, it's a risky move to take, I think, because you could just end up embarrassing yourself. But at the same time, I think that, they must feel like there's something here if they're willing to, put it in writing and send an email to the general counsel of LSU and say, hey, just letting you know that we're looking into this.
Was that, by the way, were those, was that correspondence between the attorneys? Was that leaked or was that a FOIA request from the television station? Do you know?
I don't know. I've since FOIA'd it and haven't gotten it back yet.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it came out from the NC State side, to be honest. I mean, they obviously are wanting to get more money and wanting to do this investigation, so they kind of want it out there, I guess. But, this is something that you can FOIA because it is a written document from one general counsel to another of the universities.
He's Noah Fleischman from the Wolfpacker, part of On 3's NC State beat writer at Fleischman_Noah. I mean, I enjoy our conversations, Noah, but I really hope I don't have to talk to you again.
Maybe it'll be, baseball related next spring. I mean, both teams wish they were still playing right now. So.
No doubt about that. We appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. I listened to a podcast Dr. Blake did on alligator shoes with Michael Hackett. If you're not familiar, I'd highly recommend you check it out. Great sit-down conversations with community leaders and things of that nature in and around Baton Rouge. And Dr. Blake did an episode where, I learned a lot about a guy that I've known for a long time. After undergrad, he went to Johns Hopkins, spending time in Baltimore, spent time at Columbia in New York City, spent time in London, which I knew, but continuing his education, all with the idea of getting the best possible education and coming home and bringing all of that here because loves Baton Rouge, loves our community, and wants to be rooted here to bring those amazing things here. So you can get world-class ophthalmology care, eye care, without leaving Baton Rouge. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people from the region that come to Baton Rouge to see Dr. Blake because he's the best. He goes around the world lecturing at conferences and different things like that. So when you go to the Williamson Eye Center, you do so with the confidence knowing you're getting world-class care right here at home. WilliamsonEye.com. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. All right, glad to have you hanging out with us here. Thanks to Noah Fleischman. I'll give you some more thoughts on the Will Wade thing a bit later in the show. But the bottom line, I'll be most interested to know if – look, bottom line is this. LSU would have paid the full $5 million buyout. I mean, we were all over that story at the time. LSU would have paid the $5 million buyout to get Will Wade out of there. They effectively saved $1 million. If this goes away by paying an extra $1 million in attorney fees, write a check and be done with it. If NC State, but it kind of feels like NC State is the one. If they leaked that story, it's different. What I was asking the question there from Noah, a FOIA is Freedom of Information Act. So you can send a records request that a public institution must comply and provide those record requests. So if that news organization sent a FOIA request to get those documents, well, they had to suspect something or someone had to tell them to do it. But if they just leaked it, if NC State just leaked it to this news outlet, well, they leaked it with the intention of that getting out, with the intention of embarrassing Will Wade and LSU. And that becomes a petty public relations play, which is not surprising considering how ugly that departure was. But it goes back to the thing we talked about, like to have not seen that. You just heard Noah say it. I mean, we all heard the rumors. I mean, from the moment Lee Mallett was installed as the chairman of the LSU Board of Supervisors, like this, the likelihood of this happening became almost a certainty. And so the thing that I said repeatedly was the only thing that was surprising was how caught off guard the NC State folks were by how much of a reality that really was, because it almost happened a year prior. Anyway. We'll react a little more to it as we get more information. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. It's a hump day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Brian Kelly has a new gig. We'll talk about that. We'll go around the SEC next. Stay here.
AFR.
Major congratulations to my friends over at Duplessis Pools. I love telling you about all the great honors that Derek and his crew have earned over at Duplessis Pools, and another one has come in today. I got a text earlier this morning. The results are in, and Duplessis Pools for 2026 has been honored as one of the best of 26 award winners from Business Rate. This is an accolade that is entirely derived and powered by Google reviews. So basically, every comment, every bit of this comes from you, your comments, your reviews, your experience with Duplessis Pools. So congrats to Derek and the team over at Duplessis, winner of Best of 2026 Business Rate Award winner from a swimming pool contractor based there out of Gonzales. DuplessisPools.com. It's DuplessisPools.com. Thinking of building a steel building, a metal building, you want the best, you want ProForm Steel. And right now, it is so easy. The website is up, proformla.com, proformla.com. When you go to the homepage, proformla.com, you can request your quote right there on the homepage. It's simple. Go to proformla.com, hit the Request a Quote tab, fill out a little information, boom, what you're building, and they'll help you get it right at ProForm Steel. Listen, you know Brandon Golson. He's been in the market, in this market, for decades. He's the best. This is the new entity, ProForm Steel. ProFormLA.com, ProFormLA.com. Remember, faster lead times. Residential, they can get to you in 6 to 8 weeks. And every single building they sell, free delivery. You buy something from them, they'll deliver it for free. ProFormLA.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Well, Brian Kelly is back in coaching. BK has accepted a unpaid consultant job with the Memphis Tigers under first-year head coach Charles Huff. Now, Huff has been around a long time, man. He played at Hampton in the early 2000s. Huff's 43 years old. Started his career in 2006 as the offensive line coach at Tennessee State, and he's bounced around a bunch from Maryland to his alma mater, Hampton. Was in offensive quality control at Vanderbilt in 2011. popped into the NFL for a season with the Buffalo Bills, then Western Michigan, Penn State, then the SEC at Mississippi State in 2018, then over to Alabama for a couple of seasons. Then he became the head coach at Marshall, followed up by one season at Southern Miss in 2025, and now is the Memphis head coach, where he replaces Ryan Silverfield, of course, left for Arkansas. So Charles Huff, the head coach there at Memphis, hires Brian Kelly as an unpaid consultant for the school, for the program this season. It obviously makes sense for BK. He's receiving a $54 million buyout. Doesn't need to be paid, but keeps him closer to the action. I think as we talk about Brian Kelly and his future, one of the things that I've continued to reiterate that I was told even at the time that Brian Kelly was fired and throughout the fall is, and I don't think this is any great secret, that Brian Kelly is someone who he's one of the coaches who didn't love the direction the sport was taking. I think, the quote when he was asked about working with Austin Thomas as general manager last year, it wasn't a knock on Austin. Talked about how good of a relationship they had, but talked about that's why he never accepted an NFL job, because he didn't want to work with a GM. He wanted to be the guy that built the roster and developed players, and it's just a very different reality in college football. And even last year during the fall, there were whispers about Kelly's representation maybe putting feelers out for potential media jobs. So when Brian Kelly has been working at CBS, it certainly didn't come as a surprise to me. And there's no word here if he plans to continue working with CBS or he'll do this consulting job with Memphis full time, but it is unpaid. And as we all know, there is mitigation in his LSU buyout, whereby if Brian Kelly receives a salary, either as a coach or a media member, his buyout is offset by that salary. So from an LSU perspective, you desperately want Brian Kelly to go work and get a high-profile job, but it's pretty clear that Kelly here now in his early 60s, approaching his middle 60s, and not hired in this cycle to a head coaching job. I don't know what opportunities will be there in next year's cycle. And you really ask the question from Brian Kelly's perspective, if the one thing he is seeking is a national championship, well, one of the elite level programs with the resources to win a championship are going to have an opening and then identify Brian Kelly as their top target for that job. And I just don't know that I see that as realistic. I certainly think there are places in college football that would hire Brian Kelly to be their head coach. And you see that that's not uncommon to see Larry Coker go to UTSA or Terry Bowden go to Akron. I mean, those things happen. Rich Rodriguez at Jacksonville State. I mean, now I know Rich Rod's back at West Virginia now, but you understand my point. Like, it's not uncommon for high-profile coaches to get lower-level jobs because it's going to bring a certain level of cachet and notoriety and experience to the program that you'll elevate the program and then hand it off to whoever is next. But I don't know if Brian Kelly wants to do that or if he would rather just do media, to be sort of football adjacent, but not in the day-to-day grind of trying to build a program in this era, and especially if it's at a place where you're not going to have the opportunity necessarily to win a national championship, which is the only box he has not checked on his resume. So, but Brian Kelly will be an unpaid consultant at Memphis this year under first-year coach Charles Huff. All right, brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. We're going to go around the SEC in just a quick second, but remember, energy-efficient replacement windows that come with a lifetime transferable warranty. At Relief Windows, they're one of the few companies in America, quite literally, that will not take a down payment from you. They will not take a deposit. Brandon's told me in the past, there's people that try to give him a down payment. He won't take it. They take all of the financial risk up front. They will order your windows. They will pay for it. They will have the inventory. They will install it. Only when they're done and you're thrilled will they accept payment. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com or go see them in their showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
South Carolina right-handed pitcher Zach Russell is transferring from the Gamecocks to Mississippi State. 25 appearances this past year, as a sophomore for the Gamecocks. A 2.53 ERA, 23 strikeouts, 6'2", 180. He's one of the top bullpen arms for the Gamecocks. He's headed to Starkville.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Speaking of Carolina, they get a pitcher out of the portal from Coastal Carolina. Of course, Kevin Schnall leaving Coastal to become the head coach at South Carolina, and he's bringing with him right-handed pitcher Luke Jones. Spent the last 2 years at Coastal, now headed to South Carolina. He had a 4.44 ERA this past season. He threw 79 innings, allowing 73 hits.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Hogs landed Charlotte third baseman Dawson Bryce. Played 30 games this past season. He was limited due to injury, but he slashed .306, .355, and .463. 37 hits. He had 3 homers among them. He was the AAC preseason player of the year, but injuries obviously limited him. Now he's moving on to Arkansas.
The Auburn Tigers.
4-star edge Ryan Jackson has committed to Auburn, the 8th best player in the state of Maryland. Chose Auburn over Virginia Tech, Penn State, Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee. 6'4", 220, the 28th best edge in the country, the 17th commit for Auburn.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And Dominic Black, 4-star offensive tackle, he's picked the Wildcats. 6'5", 280, also had offers from Virginia Tech, Michigan State, Tennessee, among others. He's a top 200 overall player in the country, the 12th ranked offensive tackle in America. All right, there you have that is around the SEC. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Hormone replacement therapy. Yes, they do ED treatments as well. Peptides. You want to feel your best? Lowest prices, never any contracts. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. All right, we're knocking out our final break here of hour number 1. We'll come back. Taylor will be here for a little Bourbon Dictionary. So get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us. Lots of ways that you can get your questions in. You want to text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get your questions in. Do that. And we will, there's been a lot more reaction today to the Brendan Sorsby situation, including Texas Tech Athletic Director Kirby Hocutt for the first time putting out his public statement in reaction to Monday's ruling. And I'm going to absolutely eviscerate Kirby Hocutt in about 17 minutes. So don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
Let's rev, y'all. REV, Rev Fiber. Look, Rev Fiber is the banner for all residential fiber internet services, okay? This reinforces Rev's fiber-first expansion across Louisiana. Rev is Louisiana's largest locally owned broadband provider, and they are introducing now Rev Fiber, the new flagship brand. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. More than 70,000 homes will be getting Rev Fiber access over the next 3 years. In the past 12 months, they've already been built to more than 4,500 homes, and expansion is coming. So, be it your home or for your business, you want a great local company that provides better customer service, a better product, at a better rate. You want Rev. RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
Wrapping up hour number 1. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Talk a little booze with Taylor. How are you, dude?
I'm well. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing freaking fantastic. What's new?
We got we're supposed to get both of them, but we only got one of them. So Parrish Brewing did a collab with St. Arnold out of Houston.
Yeah.
And they both did a beer for each other, sort of. St. Arnold basically got the recipe for Ghost in the Machine and tried to duplicate it. And then from what Jacob from Parrish told me, their IPA that they made is supposed to be like St. Arnold's Art Car, so like a West Coast style IPA. We got the St. Arnold version today. We didn't get the Parish version. Okay. Shout out to Mockler Beverage. But we're supposed to be getting the Parish version. I haven't tried either one of them. The St. Arnold version is an East Coast IPA, so hazy. And like I said, it's supposed to be like Ghost of the Machine. I haven't got to try it, so I have no idea how it is. If it's anything like Ghost of the Machine, it's got to be good. And then so Parish's is the West Coast. It's a clear IPA, quote unquote.
Here it is.
A double IPA.
Saints and Sinners.
Saints and Sinners. Cool artwork.
Wait, so just to be clear, let me just make sure I have this right. So here's the beer. Paul, can you see it, Paul? Okay. So Saints and Sinners is a beer that Parish Brewing in Louisiana did. What they got the recipe from St. Arnold and tried to recreate St. Arnold's beer under this label?
Yeah, I don't know if they got the recipe, but the inspiration is supposed to be St. Arnold Art Car, which is like one of their everyday IPAs. And then the beer that St. Arnold did is supposed to be like Ghost in the Machine, an East Coast. It's only an IPA, I think, but it's very close to a double. But like I said, we only got the St. Arnold one today. They're two different cans. Like if you pull it up, there's two different cans. One of them's white and purple, which is the St. Arnold one, and then the other one is a super cool artwork with a ghost and like a papal hat or whatever you call it.
Papal, like the Pope, yeah. Or whatever.
That's a good guess.
What's the Pope hat called?
It's St. Arnold's hat.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Like the Pope hat is called something. You know what I mean? It's like they call it like like a priest will wear like a dress. What's called like a cassock or something like that. Their formal gear. I don't know. Anyway,
my dad's not a deacon, man, so I don't know.
Yeah, mine is, but that doesn't mean that I'm free. He'll know the answer. I don't know the answer. I don't go to my dad's house and I'm like, Dad, what's the Pope hat called? You know, I'm sure I learned that somewhere along the way and, a dozen years of Catholic education, but I don't remember what the Pope hat was called. I know what the Council of Nicaea was and all that stuff, but anyway, whatever. Okay. So the Saints and Sinners is available now locally?
Yeah.
Cool. Go pick it up.
Like I said, we got the St. Arnold one. We should be getting the Parish one in the next couple days, I would imagine.
Awesome.
Because we've already sent up. But yes, locally distribution, both of them. It's two different beers. It's two different cans. So just be on the lookout for both of them. I'm excited. I haven't got to try either one of them yet, so I'm excited about that.
I know beer was really your first love. So
yeah. I mean, and actually, I was at Parish Brewery like a week and a half ago. Those are my people over there. Yeah. But I was going to a wedding in New Iberia, and I stopped there. I hadn't been there in a while. So
still ready for the Parish Brewery and Parish Roofing collab on a beer. If they did it with St. Arnold, why not do it with a roofing company? I'm here for it. We're all here.
I mean, Parish Brewing and then St. Arnold Brewing, it kind of went together.
What do you mean?
They share common situations as far as industry.
What, you mean just because they're both beer companies?
Yeah.
Well, we share a name.
Oh, I know. No, and I've tried to facilitate that even live on the air.
I know. We got to make that happen.
I've done my part, man. I don't know what to do.
All right, let's get to some questions. Craig said, "Hey Taylor, can you recommend a THC infused beer?"
A THC infused beer? I mean, I'm assuming just THC infused drink. I really like the Indigo guys. They're local there in Baton Rouge. They have really good stuff. The Howdy stuff from Austin, I really like too. They have good lemonades and stuff like that. It really just depends on what you like and how much sugar. Some of them have a lot of sugar in it, which I don't like, but some people do. It just largely depends. There's so many different ones. The market is absolutely inundated with THC stuff right now. So,
by the way, shout out to John. Who the Miter is the name of the hat. MITRE, the Miter. That's correct. So thank you.
I had no idea. I have so much useless knowledge in my head. I had never heard of that in my life.
Okay. Alex asked Taylor, "What's your favorite underrated bourbon that's available in stores?"
I'm gonna go with something off the wall, something that I'd never talk about. I had a pour of this over the weekend, and it's really good, and it's fairly inexpensive. Michter's American Whiskey.
Okay.
It's like $45. It's got Weller 12 characteristics to me, like tons of it. I had a pour at a wedding. It was a week and a half ago, but that was one of the things on the bar, and I was like, I hadn't had this in forever, and I was like, good. I drank a lot of it after I had it.
Is it wheated?
Yeah, it's wheated.
So Weller American Whiskey, huh?
No, Michter's.
Oh, sorry, Michter's. Sorry.
Michter's American Whiskey. It's just like a shelfy turd that just sits there. It is a really good bottle of bourbon.
All right, Michter's American. Stay off it, man. Just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's good. Just 'cause something's good doesn't mean it's expensive. $45. I'll give it a go. Let's see. Joshua said, ask Taylor, I scored a bottle of Old Forester birthday bourbon. Oh, I'm jealous. Should I dance around in my birthday suit?
Sure, man. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, from year to year, they vary, but I've never had a bad one. I've had some underwhelming ones, though.
I'm texting him to ask if he wants to trade. Actually, my text line isn't working right now for me to reply to people. I don't know why. So my apologies if you're not getting a reply from me. It's not my fault.
They're so hard to get.
Yeah. Birthday bourbon is, I think, in my entire whiskey hunting career, I've gotten one. And it was, I got lucky and had someone who knew I was hunting and so made a trade for me or with me.
We get 2 or 3 a year as an account. So
yeah, it's crazy. So
bottles,
anyway,
not cases.
If Joshua, if you want to trade, hit me up. All right, we got about 30 seconds left. Anything else?
There's a couple new little things that I've completely eliminated from my brain. Oh, a new Crittenden's that I haven't tried, which is a little distillery out of Mississippi.
All right, I gotta go.
Yeah,
we'll
see you,
talk to you
man.
later. All right, bye. See you.
Bye.
All right, hour number 2 is coming. I did 30 seconds, man. Hurry up.
After further review.
And you get a lot of that stuff as well. Colangelo, appreciate it. All right, brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com was chatting with Brad over today at South Point Volkswagen. Told you I'm getting a new vehicle, and it's this easy. Like, he literally texted me the link for the pre-authorization form. I mean, you can go in, and I would love it if you would. They're great people at South Point Volkswagen. The dealership's so much fun. I've told you they turn an old Volkswagen bus, the Beetle van, into a photo booth that's right there in the lobby. It's a giant part of the whole Volkswagen culture is their fun. Look at their commercials all throughout the years, from like the Darth Vader kid and everything. But it's just so easy as well. You can do the whole thing online. You can do it via text, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?